Hello, my name is Sean Shinabar. Here's my pitch for the Bounce Off, a 2D side maze platform game where you use a bouncy ball that you must throw to teleport to platforms and ledges. The goal of this game is for Stickman, the player, to work their way through the maze and reach the finish line. Unlike standard 2D side games that feature running and jumping, players use a bouncy ball to teleport to locations. How players accomplish this and what they have to do is use angles and physics to bounce a ball to platforms and ledges that are either above, below, or across from them to make their way through the maze. Players will be able to aim and adjust the force of the throw. The most important rules of the game are that the player must use the bouncy ball to teleport. There is no jumping to reach platforms or the finish line. If you miss a platform, you will be teleported to your doom and lose a life. The biggest threat facing the player is the maze itself and trying to solve it, which will also include moving platforms and puzzle elements such as spinning pie wheels, spikes that appear out of the ground, spinning platforms, and even obstacles that try to block and affect the bounce of your ball. Other threats include enemies that try to attack you or block the ball, timers that once it reaches 0 you will have to start over. These, however, don't appear until later levels in the game. Some important decisions players have to make is judging the distance from player to platform, which could dictate the amount of force they need to use before they throw. The force of the throw also affects how much the ball bounces. Force is a user-controlled mechanic that can be adjusted before each throw. Too hard and the ball bounces too much, and too little it may not bounce at all. Players should keep in mind that force also affects how far the ball goes. The ball itself must stop bouncing in order to teleport, or must have very minimal bounce. Players will receive a prompt telling them when they can teleport. This game has elements of popular athletic games such as dodgeball and basketball, both with feature bouncy balls that the players throw. The teleport mechanic is based on a mechanic that is a feature in the AAA mega hit Final Fantasy XV, where the main character throws swords, and wherever they end up, the player teleports to them. Only instead of swords, you use a bouncy ball, and you can't teleport until the ball stops bouncing. Utilizing all these mechanics can create interesting play possibilities, such as utilizing the physics in a certain way to reach objectives, like bouncing the ball off all kinds of platforms and walls to allow the ball to land perfectly without any excess bounce, or timing throws with moving platforms and accounting for the bounce. There are 3 major risks that come with this project. The first is the scale of the levels. Figuring out what would be considered the appropriate size and length of each level would take considerable time to plan and test. The second being adding unique bouncy balls, an example being a ball that is heavier to throw and bounces less, or a more lighter ball that bounces a lot more. These could take a long time to tune and test to find a good balance. Also, how many would we want is another question. And finally, adding enemies. While they could be attacked with the bouncy ball, they would need a long time to program and properly test, like setting up the AI to react to your throws and attacking the player. Thank you very much for your time and attention. This is Sean Shinabar, and I'm signing off.